Howdy, elder brothers, sisters, sworn family. Welcome back. It's part two of the Zhong Kui Search for Scriptures series. Today we're exploring the first appearance of Zhong Kui, which is in the Dreampool Essays, or Mingxi Bitan, or Baitan. The way to pronounce that is kind of contested, so I'm just going Mingxi Bitan. That's that's what I'm sticking with. Um, Before I get into actually reading this piece of uh, we could call it scripture. It's more of like a folk tale. But before I get into reading it, there's a part that the English translation that I'm reading from leaves out, which I have gone to the Museum of Asian Art, the National Museum of Asian Art. I've gone to their website and am reading an excerpt from one of the articles on their page to kind of give a an introduction and cover the part that the English translation leaves out. So without further ado, we've got Zhong Kui and the Lunar New Year by Wei Shu. So the part specifically that the English translation of the Dreampool essays leaves out is how Xin Kuo recounts Zhong Kui entering a military examination where he could be judged on his skills to possibly serve in the country's military. He did exceptionally well, but was turned away because of how just grotesquely ugly he was, which is very, very, very unfortunate. He was so just devastated by this rejection that he committed unalive, we'll say, and later came to the Emperor Xuanzong of Tang, who we know as the Emperor in Journey to the West, because I'm sure there's a lot of overlap from Journey to the West readers. But that's where Brush Talks from Dream Book 2, this is just the second part of the Brush Talks from Dream Book, comes in. From the Library of Chinese Classics, we'll go to page 462. This is a single excerpt from this book. It's not entirely about Zhong Kui, it's just this one entry that he appears in. It's also called the supplement to Brush Talks from Dream Book. Sometimes it's called supplement to the Dream Pool Essays. There's a lot of different names that this book goes by, but we'll get into the actual entry, which is Zhong Kui, drawn by Wu Daoist. In the royal palace, there is a picture of Zhong Kui drawn by Wu Daoist, which is passed down from previous generations. On the upper part of the picture is the preface written in the Tang dynasty, which goes as follows. During Kaiwan period of the reign of Emperor Xuanzong, the emperor reviewed the royal troops at the foot of Mount Lishan. After he came back to the palace, he fell ill and was afflicted with malaria. The emperor was ill for nearly 1 month. The witch doctor was sent for. He tried every means to overcome the disease, but in vain. One night the emperor suddenly dreamt about 2 ghosts, a big one and a small one. The small one wore red underwear, with 1 foot in a shoe, and the other one barefooted. On his belt hung the other shoe, and a big fan made of thin bamboo strips was squeezed between his belt and his clothes. He had stolen the sweet-smelling purse from a high-ranking imperial concubine and the jade flute from the emperor, and was running around the palace. Wearing a cap and a pair of leather boots, and exposing one of his arms outside the garment, the big ghost caught the small one, scratching out his eyes, tearing him apart, and eating him up. The emperor then asked the big ghost, "Who are you?" He answered, My name is Zhong Kui, and I am the one who failed in the Imperial military examination. I vow to eliminate all the evil spirits in the world for you." Awakened from the dream, the Emperor recovered from his illness and felt even healthier and stronger than before. He summoned Wu Daoist, the famous painter, to appear before him and told him his dream, saying, "Try to draw a picture of it for me." After receiving the order, Wu seemed to have been aware of something. Soon he completed his drawing and presented it to the Emperor. With his eyes wide open, the Emperor gazed at the drawing for a long time and said with both of his hands touching the table, "It looks as if you and I had the same dream. Otherwise, how can you draw it so vividly?" Wu said, "Your Majesty is always fully occupied with state affairs. You worked too hard and slept and ate too little. Finally, you were ill with malaria. Fortunately, we have something that can get rid of your disease and safeguard your virtuous deeds." Having said so, Wu gave a dance to wish the Emperor a long life. The Emperor was greatly pleased. He rewarded Wu with 100 liang of gold and wrote the following imperial decree. "A celestial being appears in my dream and cures me of my illness. Such a heroic deed deserves my reward. Here is a picture of his unusual look. Governments at all levels must spread it far and wide and hang it high when driving away the evils at the end of every year. In this way, the evil spirits and all the misfortunes will be driven away and eliminated. Hereby I issue this order. Everyone must know it and implement it." In the 5th year of the Xinning period of the reign of Emperor Shenzong, the Emperor ordered to make an imitation copy of the drawing and to publish its block-printed edition. Ministers working in Zhongshu and Shumwan all had one. On New Year's Eve, Liang Kai, a court official, was sent to deliver these copies to Zhongshu and Shumiwan. According to the information quoted above, Zhong Kui was first mentioned in the Kaiwan period. During Hongyou period of the reign of Emperor Renzong, a tomb in Shangwan County was excavated and an epitaph carved on a stone tablet was discovered, which indicated that the tomb's owner was Madame Zheng, the mother of a high-ranking general Zhong Kui, who lived in southern dynasties. Madame Zheng was the descendant of Jin Zhong, the financial minister of the Eastern Han dynasty. Zhong Kui had a younger sister called Zhong Kui. In the Northern Wei dynasty, there was a man called Li Zhongkui. In the Sui dynasty, there were 2 generals called Xiao Zhongkui and Yang Zhongkui. From this we know that the name of Zhongkui had a long history, but the picture of Zhongkui first appeared in the Kaiwan period. Sometimes the 2 characters can be written as Zhongkui or Zhongkui. And that kind of wraps it up, folks. Just to wrap everything in a bow, Zhong Kui, initially a scholar, went to apply for a military position. He did very well in testing his skills, but was just too ugly. The military positions in the Tang dynasty under Xuanzong, very coveted, comes with a lot of honor, a lot of respect. But I guess you gotta uphold an image. you just can't be ugly in the military, you feel me? So he was rejected, did not survive the attempt on his life by himself. We're staying family friendly for YouTube purposes. But he came to Xuanzong in a dream, told him that he would quell any ghosts, any demons that came his way, provided that he, pay homage to him or homage to him. That's about it for this entry of Zhong Kui. Next, we'll be looking at. Let me just get my source up here. We'll be looking at the Gaiyu Kong Kao by Zhao Yi. Supposedly that references Zhong Kui and the origin of his name as kind of a flower. If I can find an English version of this book, that'll be great. I've been looking, and it's not seeming likely. I may have to try to translate it myself. And if that is the case, ooh, it'll be a little tough, and it might not be exact, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. That's what we've got coming up next. Thanks everyone for hanging in there. I know it's been sparse on the channel, but we're cooking. We're slowly but surely compiling this Zhong Kui character. We're kind of building him into something at this point. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for hanging out. Buy merch. Support your local bookstore. Kiss your family. In a loving, consensual and not incestuous manner. Okay, bye.